How's everyone this morning? I can't hear you. How is everyone this morning? My name is Archon Fung, and I'm the Academic Dean. I am delighted to welcome you all to the 2018 commencement exercises of the John F. Kennedy School of Government. We are here today to celebrate the achievements of an extraordinary group of students from around the world. We now convene families, friends, faculty, and staff to honor our 2018 grads. You re-enter the world at a moment when societies desperately need your creativity, intellect, passion, and leadership. Many of you will enjoy at least modest comfort, even as inequality rages at record levels. Many will be blessed with peace and security, even as parts of the world are engulfed in forever wars. Many of you will live in families, workplaces, communities where colleagues and loved ones share your values, assumptions, and perspectives, even as political polarization has reached heights unknown since the Civil War and Reconstruction. But to whom much is given, much shall be required. When so many strive to help themselves, you have chosen to help your societies meet these daunting public challenges. It is up to you to invent new ways forward because many of the old ways have lost their purchase. Make peace so that the weary warrior can rest and the refugee can return home. Imagine and then create political economies that serve the many, not just the few. To lift every voice, highly resolved today that governments of the people, by the people, and for the people flourish in every corner of this earth. We are enormously proud of the commitment that you have already displayed and all that you will do in the years ahead. It is now my great pleasure to introduce you to Doug Elmendorf, the Don K. Price Professor of Public Policy and your Dean.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Harvard Kennedy School Class of 2018. Congratulations. I hope you are very proud of all you have accomplished here in your time at the Kennedy School. I am continually impressed by the passion and talents of Kennedy School students and by the differences you are already making in the world. Thank you for the inspiration you have given to me and the other faculty and staff of the Kennedy School during your time here. Congratulations, and thank you also to all of the people who have gathered together to celebrate this great class. To the parents and spouses and partners and siblings and children and grandparents and other family members and friends who have guided these graduates on their journeys, thank you for all that you have done to help create such amazing people. You should all be very proud today, too, and we're thrilled that you can all be here to celebrate with us. As we celebrate together today, however, we should also recognize those loved ones who cannot be with us. For the Kennedy School community, we feel the particular absence of Gozi Noneri. Gozi was an incredibly empathetic and generous member of this class who passed away unexpectedly this year. We should honor his memory by bringing his spirit of giving to all of our interactions with each other and to our own work to better our communities. Let us take a moment of silence to reflect on Gozi and the lessons that he taught us and that we can carry forward with us. When we send a new class of Kennedy School graduates back into the world, we expect a lot of them. We expect a lot of you. We expect a lot because each of you has an amazing opportunity to make a positive difference. The mission of the Kennedy School is to improve public policy and public leadership across this country and around the world so people can lead better lives. That mission matters. Good public policy and public leadership have helped to create downward trends in the world in extreme poverty and infant mortality, in deaths from war. But bad public policy and public leadership can have terrible consequences. As just one example, take the greatest humanitarian crisis of our time, the global refugee crisis. Your opportunity as graduates of Harvard Kennedy School is to provide the principled and effective public leadership that can improve policy and save lives. Your opportunity is to sustain progress in areas where the world is doing okay and to turn things around in areas where it is not. We expect you in the class of 2018 to seize this opportunity and to make us even prouder of you in the years ahead. Just before 2018 started, my wife Karen and I received a holiday card from our friends David Young and Beth Moses. Beth is a psychologist. David works to advance human rights. They're both, in their ways, helping to make a better world. The message in their card said in part, quote, "We wish for our world in the new year courage and creativity to meet our challenges and to bridge our divides." I want to echo that message as we send you on to the next stages of your journeys. I wish for you the courage and creativity to meet the many challenges in the world and to bridge the divides that we face. Some forms of courage are physical. Abdi Ismail Issei of the class of 2017 does humanitarian work for the Red Cross that has brought him to war-ravaged countries where bombs have fallen around him and where he has been beaten and threatened with execution. With his life on the line, he has continued to bring aid to the people who need it. We should all be moved by his physical courage. But other forms of courage, intellectual courage and moral courage, are crucially important as well. Sometimes you must find the courage to stand up for something or to stand up against something. I hope and expect you will have the courage to stand up for truth and integrity and to stand against dishonesty and corruption. To stand up for knowledge and evidence and against ignorance and fabrications. For people who are being left behind or left out, and against concentrations of power and fortune for the benefit of a self-serving elite. For the rule of law and a free press and a strong civil society and effective governance, and against attacks on those institutions. For freedom and against oppression. For excellence and against prejudice and injustice. But courage is not just about standing up for what you believe. Sometimes courage is about sitting down and listening to what you may not initially believe. David Hempton, the dean of Harvard Divinity School, once told me that deans need to have a generosity of spirit. He didn't define exactly what he meant by that. Like a good sermon, his words required some reflection. But I took him to mean that I should see issues through the eyes of others when I could, and I should act in ways that reflected an understanding of their perspectives, and I try to do that now. We saw this idea in the recent report on diversity and inclusion at Harvard that urged us all to speak bravely and listen generously. Generous listening can take as much courage as brave speaking, because listening to people with whom you strongly disagree or with whom you think you have nothing in common is hard. But understanding others' perspectives and acting on that understanding is crucial for making a better world. To be clear, listening and understanding do not always mean agreeing or compromising. When we look back on past public policies and public leaders, we should not look equally fondly on every side of every issue or wish we had always just split the difference. You need to make moral judgments. In a recent lecture, Samantha Power, former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations and now back here as a member of our faculty, praised the brave acts of those who have resisted injustices over the course of American history, saying that their acts are, quote, bright spots that shine light in the darkness. I urge you to follow your moral principles and create such bright spots. But I also urge you to recognize that your assessment of light and dark at any point in time may not be completely right. It is too easy for all of us to view ourselves as being on the side of the angels. And thus, our visiting faculty member, E.J. Dionne, gave a lecture in which he quoted theologian Reinhold Niebuhr, saying, quote, "It's always wise to seek the truth in your opponent's error and the error in our own truth." As you have the courage to stand up for what you think is right, have the courage also to search for the error in your truth. Karen's and my friends, Beth and David, wished for the world courage and creativity to meet our challenges and bridge our divides. Creativity is as essential as courage. If we keep following the same paths we have always followed, we will not make the progress in the world that we need to make. Public problems rarely solve themselves. They require active leadership. Think, for example, of Juan Manuel Santos, of the Kennedy School class of 1981, and now the president of Colombia. His country suffered from a civil war that lasted half a century, but he led his country to end that war through his determination and creative vision. In his acceptance speech for the 2016 Nobel Peace Prize, President Santos urged us all, leaders and private citizens, to, quote, awaken the creative capacity for goodness, for building peace, unquote. Public leaders need to use creative capacity not only to build peace, but to resolve so many old challenges that remain unresolved and to address new challenges as they emerge. Public leaders need to be creative all the time, whenever budgets are tight or political pressures build, or changing demographics alter existing social arrangements, or technological changes disrupt traditional economic systems, or environmental conditions shift, or moral views evolve. You will each have your opportunity to apply your own creative capacity. Some of you will have new ideas for strengthening citizenship and accountability in democracies. Others will create new approaches to broadening economic opportunity. Or you'll develop new ways to resolve seemingly intractable conflicts between countries or within countries. Or you will creatively bridge the public and private sectors, or use data and technology to improve public services, or reduce bias in our public and private institutions, or help to make a better world in so many other ways. You can sustain and enhance your creativity by remaining always curious and always open to new ideas. I do not mean that you should always grab new ideas and run with them, Plenty of new ideas are bad ideas. You should carefully examine and evaluate ideas using the evidence and the other tools that you've learned in your lives and work and at your time here at the Kennedy School. But I do mean that you should keep exploring, keep asking questions, keep challenging yourselves. The spirit of restlessness will help you to be the creative public leaders the world so badly needs. So I will end here as you take the next steps on your personal journeys and as you guide these graduates on their next steps. I want to leave you with the wish that struck me so strongly from my friend's holiday card. May you have the courage and creativity to meet the world's challenges and bridge its divides. I am so eager to see what you can do. Thank you very much and congratulations.
As Master of Ceremonies today, I will introduce the various faculty members and program chairs as we proceed. However, I want to begin by recognizing several people who do not have speaking parts this afternoon, but who have been indispensable to the smooth functioning of this school throughout this past year. If folks could stand when I call your names on the stage party, but don't clap till after I've called everybody's name, please. Jenny Wilson, who is our Executive Dean. Debbie Isaacson, who's a Senior Associate Dean for Degree Programs and Student Affairs. Robin Chapman, Associate Dean for Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging. There's Robin. Christy Jackowitz, Senior Associate Dean for Alumni Relations and Resource Development. Toko Moyo, Associate Dean for Communications and Public Affairs. And two very important colleagues have been integral to ensuring the smooth functioning of today's events are Laura Recklett, who's the registrar, and Sandy Parker, assistant registrar. Thank you all, Laura and Sandy, for your work. Thanks also to the registrar's office, the facilities team, media services, Harvard University Dining Services, who many of you have enjoyed all year long, and our many commencement volunteers for their important contributions to the success of today's events. Our Kennedy School ceremony will begin by calling the recipients of joint degrees with other Harvard schools to the stage. These are students who, in addition to receiving an MPP or an MPAID from the Kennedy School, are also receiving a degree from another Harvard school. Our joint degree candidates have managed to navigate the many various hurdles that sometimes separate the different parts of Harvard. They don't call it every tub on its own bottom for no reason. And to obtain degrees from two schools. We award these degrees first so that the graduates can make their way, if they so choose, to the other school from which they are receiving another degree. Along with MPP Program Director Eleni Cordes, I will present the degrees to students who are also receiving a JD. And then Rob Stavens, faculty chair of our joint degree program with the Harvard Business School, will present the degrees to those who are also receiving an MBA. I ask you to please hold your applause until all of the joint degrees have been awarded.
Colleagues and friends, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the Harvard Kennedy School Joint Law and Business degree candidates, class of 2018. Candidates, please rise and come to the stage. For the Master in Public Policy degree combined with Harvard Law School, Alicia Eniton Abidemi Belo. Kelsey Christine Davidson. Charles William Fletcher III. Francis. Charles Cotton Kelsch. Christopher Alfonso Marisola. Carol Rodriguez. Jason Halligan. For the Master in Public Policy combined with Harvard Business School. Emily Tolles Bross. MPP Class Marshal Nathan Lewis Brusky. Christopher Yunduk Ching. Jason Christopher Flood. Patricia Elena Florescu. Felipe Gomez Herrera. Sophie Kleinberg Kanan. Riley Ann Kiernan. Caitlin Ray Klostermeyer. Evan Kornblue. Aditi Kumar. Rachel Lipson. Alexandra Heddle McGoodwin. Adora Izukanane Obianuju Mora. Kevin Mott. Hari Ganesh Satyendran. Rebecca Sharfstein. Noah Stern. Olivia Gordon Volkoff. Benjamin Wiseman. Jacqueline Jamak. For the Master in Public Administration and International Development combined with Harvard Business School, Roni Brodsky. Carolyn Elizabeth Fallert. Jared Goodman. Leah Reyna Kaplow. Nanako Yano. All joint law and business degrees for the class of 2018 have now been awarded. Congratulations.
All of our students are motivated by a deep love of learning and a commitment to public service. The students who are about to receive the degree of Doctor in Philosophy in Political Economy and Government and Doctor of Philosophy in Public Policy evince a special devotion to scholarship. In addition to completing additional training in both substance and methodology, recipients of the PhD degree must also complete a substantial piece of research that makes an original contribution to knowledge. We are extremely proud of this new generation of scholars, and I'm happy to introduce, again, Professor Robert Stavins, who is faculty chair of the PhD programs, and Nicole Tadioshan, program director, to award these degrees.
Colleagues and friends, it is my great pleasure to present to you the candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Political Economy and Government and for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Public Policy. Would the candidates please come forward to the stage? For the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Political Economy and Government, Pamela Ban, whose dissertation is entitled The Changing Influence of Committees in Congress. Jonathan L. Weigel, whose dissertation is entitled Taxation, Corruption, and Engagement with the Formal State, Experimental Evidence from the DR Congo. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Public Policy, Rohit Chandra, whose dissertation is entitled Adaptive State Capitalism in the Indian Coal Industry. Juan Pablo Chauvin, whose dissertation is entitled Essays in Urban Economics and Development. Stephen Cousins, whose dissertation is entitled Essays in Health and Behavioral Economics. Raisa Fabregas Robles Gills, whose dissertation is entitled Essays in Development Economics and Education. Todd Girardin, whose dissertation is entitled Essays in Environmental Economics and Industrial Organization. Sarika Gupta, whose dissertation is entitled Essays in Development Economics and Governance. Alicia Harley, whose dissertation is entitled Why Does Technology Fail to Benefit the Poorest Farmers? A Socio-Technical Approach to the Study of Innovation and Poverty. Yanharvi Nilakani, whose dissertation is entitled Essays at the Intersection of Environmental and Development Economics. Lisa Xu, whose dissertation is entitled Essays on Structural Transformation and Trade. In addition, I wish to congratulate candidates for the degree in Political Economy and Government who are not able to attend today. Laura Blattner, whose dissertation is entitled Essays on Finance and Economic Policy. John Coglianese, whose dissertation is entitled Essays on the Macroeconomics of Labor Markets. Andrew Guerin, whose dissertation is entitled Essays on the Economics of Labor Demand and Policy Incidents. Eduardo Tesso, whose dissertation is entitled Essays in Political Economy. Also, I wish to congratulate the candidate for degree in public policy who's not able to attend today, CC Chen, whose dissertation is entitled Essays on Environmental Economics and Industrial Organization. All PhDs have been awarded. Congratulations, everyone.
It is now time to award the degrees for Master in Public Administration students for two-year MPA program. Our two-year MPAs arrive at the Kennedy School with prior work experience and graduate-level training and spend their time here gaining skills, perspectives, and nuanced understandings that they need to be effective leaders in solving public problems. To award the degrees, it is my pleasure to introduce David King, who's faculty chair of MPA programs, and Emma Heffron, who is the program director.
Colleagues and friends, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the Master in Public Administration class of 2018. Candidates, please rise and come to the stage with your class marshals, Sahar Ali Dar and Antina Lee. For the degree Master in Public Administration, Hala Al-Hariri. Abdul Mohsen Z. Al-Husseini III. Ryan Alam. Jose Alfaro. Jeremy David Cooperman Avens. Adnan Mahmoud Awan. Marcus Allen Blackwell. Catherine Ballback. Matthew Baird Bubley. Natalie Elizabeth Butler. Nicholas Butts. Fernando Gabriel Cafarata. Michael Hajigakis. Aaron Collett. David Dauphiné. Cecilia de Lima Pesaña. Daniel Andres de Riva. David Demres. Aubrey Ray Doyle. Michael Ryan Drashkovich. Omar M. El Hawagi. Anna Yelisiva. Uyanga Ershembayar. Damon John Faldowski II. Sarah Marie Geisman. Stefan Genou. Jevin Gibb. Christine Goldrick. Odette Gonzalez Carrillo. Manuel Gonzalez Schuler. Divya Goyal. Anurag Gumber. Angela Wu Guo. Javier Gutierrez. Alejandro Hidalgo Jacob. Paul Hogue. Evan June Hong. Yoonhae Tong. Amaya Kilara. Laji Musa Kuyate. Olga Kulak. Maria Kuska. Jonathan Logan Lane. Megan Larkham. Alex Lee. Sifen Liu. Erica Lovin. Bob Ma. Shozo Maeda. Caroline Matthews. Lauren Elizabeth McHugh Olinde. Marta Milkowska. Reshesh Mohan. Ali Nadim. David Eduardo Nataren Oyuela. Adriano Navarro. Nishapat Nawapradit. Alice Naufal. Maya Nixick. Marika Nishimuro. Cynthia Shuk Noe. Luki Lukman Nurmat. Tukeni Abasi. Shijir Ochibat. Daniel O'Connell. Christine Anyang. Mala Paliwal. Sohaib Perwaiz. Alex Pham. Juana Pinto Late. Jack Popper. James Pooh. Jasmine Faye Q. Namrata Raju. Siddharth Ramalingam. Ana Maria Rojas Mendez. Julia Marie Rosenbaum. Meredith Ellen Sandberg. Gabrielle Scrimshaw. Jorge Silva Herreros. Corey Siskind. Janina Soto. Sethawood Sukcharon. Nana Teng. Anna Olivia Thomas. Wilson Tong. Zhao Jata Toure. Isabel Cristina Vasconez Naranjo. Karen Patricia Warner. Allison Weiner. Jenny Ann Weisbord. Tina Tianyi Shu. Catherine Zeeland. Tarek Zaydan. And class marshals, Sahar Ali Dar. And Antina Lee. All Master in Public Administration degrees have now been awarded. Class of 2018, congratulations.
So the next degree to be awarded, I forget the name of this, the name is Masters in Public Policy. Students receiving this degree have completed a rigorous multidisciplinary program requiring the mastery of analytic, management, and political skills and the development of focused expertise in a particular area of public policy. To award the degrees, I would like to introduce Jack Donahue, Faculty Chair of the MPP program, and Eleni Cortis, Program Director. Again, I ask you to hold your applause until all of the degrees have been awarded.
Colleagues and friends, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the Master in Public Policy Class of 2018. Candidates, please rise and come to the stage with your class marshal, Nicholas Talent. The fan is lovely, but who knew it was going to cause some problems? Mukhtar Abubakar. Cassandra Laxon Agbayani. Julie Sujung An. Joshua Albert. Carlos Enrique Alvarado Briseño. Akshay Anantharaman. Stephanie Antonian. Joseph Backer. Addison P. Berry. Aaliyah Bhatia. Daniel Potter Black. Malini Bose. Joseph Brandafino. Daniel Brennan. Lindsay K. Brown. Tess Byers. Maeve Ingram Campbell. Sarah Elizabeth Canny. Juliana Castro Illich. Thalitha Fauzia Sherunisa. Clarice Chang. Gabrielle Sheffitz. Avantika Chilkoti. Sunila Chilokuri. Kelly Lugbill Clark. Benjamin Douglas Clayton. Howard Ross Cohen. Allison Christina Collins. Caitlin Conley. Natalia Cote Munoz. Meredith Morgan Davis Tavera. Miguel Angel de Corral Martin. Stephen Delaney. Eleanor Dodd. Tianu Dong. Peter Drevis. David William Dusing. Chris Daleski. Karina Feast. Sophie Feintuck. Andita Fircelli Utami. Adam Gregory Fisher. Thomas Frederick Fox. David Friedland. Michael Gallant. Justin Edward Galley. Tara Gamboa Eastman. Laura Elizabeth Gates. Mayuka Giga. Adam Bach Georgie. Ania Gioza. Rosie Lindsay Greenberg. Chi Kathy Guo. Kamran Hakiman. Connor Patrick Hand. Daniel Hanrahan. Dinah Akasua Hansen. Elizabeth Cretter Hansen. Matthew Hassett. Charles Herman. Ismael Hernandez. Thomas Carl Egidius Hawks. Wen Ho. Elena Hofnagel. Robert Clayton Hulk Jr. Hong Sung Hwan. Kimberly Howard. Daniel Humphrey. Bradley David Hutchison. Christopher Jan. Maggie G. Pratik Kanwal. Colin Killick. Dongan Luna Kim. Jungyoon Kim. Christine Ko. Kunal Kothari. Snigdha Kumar. Richard Kuzma. Andreas Kiprianithis. Daniel Aaron Benjamin Jonathan Lander. Catherine Grace Landrew. Sebastian Langer. Catherine Marie Lawrence. Jean-Baptiste Lemarois. Sebastian Leap. Kathy Lee. Yeonsu Lee. Yuna Lee. Yihao Lee. Christine Lau. Vanessa Lyon. Christina Lowe. Vincent Lowney. Jordan Christopher Maitland. Joseph Manganiello. Catherine Manstead. Annika Manzor. Anjali Mather. Alexander Matthews. Sabella Matthews. Shaniqua McClendon. Matthew Brendan McDowell. Charlotte May McEwen. Emily Middleton. Alexandra Milcheva. Aria Petrell Miles. Crystal Milan. Ashley Miller. Namitha Modi. Sukshun Moon. S. Nagarajan. Aditya Narayan. Seth Taylor Nelson. Claudia Ng. Alejandro Noriega. Alexander Olson. Razvan Orashanu. Florian Osman. Hikaru Awuch. Iyup Ozchimen. Mia Azagovich. James Pagano. Samuel Parker. Isan Patel. Rory Bob Payne. Jack Peed. Kellen Peed. Daniel Peckham. Bar Peled. Marie Alexandra Perot. Francis Pillsbury. John Powell. Santiago Polito Gomez. Angelica May Quixie. Aparna Ramanan. Sasha Ramani. Golika Reddy. Ziad Razlan. Alexis William Reyes. Brendan Patrick Roach. Tyler Patrick Rogers. Robert Graham Rose. Evelina Rudnicka. Margaret Rose Salinger. Amelia Sampat. Adam Schaefer. Kyle Schriefer. Rebecca Elizabeth Schwartz. Anna Catherine Suarez. Sylvie Sanaki. Fred Thomas Shaya. Ricky Sharma. Katya Sharp. Ray Shi. Kanika Singh. Jeanette Soriano Gonzalez. Matthew Eric Spector. Andrew Mark Shagru. Alec William Dapp Suni. Malcolm Temple. Mary Thomas. Neil William Thomas. Caitlin Trethui. Adam Siyum Sagai. Nate Vernon. Jacob Michael Viola. Rishi Wadera. Ben Yunmo Wong. Amanda Watson. Mitchell Watt. Elizabeth Weber. Benjamin Weinstein. Coleman Scott Wheeler. Laura White. Mei Shugnan Wu. Hubert Wu. Amy J. Zhao. And Class Marshal Nicholas Stephen Talent. All Master in Public Policy degrees have now been awarded. Class of 2018, congratulations.
MPP. We will now award the degrees for Master in Public Administration in International Development. The MPAID program combines advanced training in the economics of development with training in politics, legal institutions, and public management. I am pleased to introduce two people who are absolutely crucial to the success of this program to award the degrees. Professor Lant Pritchett, who's faculty chair of the MPAID program, and program director Carol Finney.
Colleagues and friends, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the Master in Public Administration and International Development Class of 2018. Candidates, please rise and come to the stage with your class marshals, Nikita Tanaparty and Marla Spivak. Andrew Aylesbury. Raphael Awuku. Dulgun Basandava. Marco Sequeira Camargo. Muhammad Kudadad Chada. Sarur Chowdhury. Johnny Fontura. Casey Catriel Friedman. Rodrigo Garcia Ayala. Maria Fernanda Gonzalez Icaza. Carlos Guadarrama Gandara. Isidro Guadarucci. Hook Soo Han. Ibrahim Worku Hassan. Laura Incapié Marin. Gonzalo Sebastian Huertas. Michelle Infanzon Guadarrama. Fernando Irazabal Gutierrez. Zane Gerard. Lydia Kim. Na Young Kim. Taro Kimura. Joaquin Klott. Shruti Laktakia. Akinwande Lalude. Kevin Leiby. Marporn Gao Lasuride. Rachel Levinson. Chongdae Ling. Akanksha Lutra. Jonathan Mazumdar. Takanori Morishima. Kara Ann Myers. Eric Nussbaumer. Layla O'Kane. Mariana Oseguera Rodriguez. Rohan Parak. Astrid Pineda. Rafael Proemsa. Mohammed Kumar. Shami Kudus. Ivana Rakwamati. Sana Rafiq. Maria Jimena Romero. Victor Hugo Ruiz Garcia. Namrata Saraogi. Felipe Sarmiento Caldas. Halad Salemi. Jack William Sennett. Zain Ul Abedin Shahid. Narixa Shetty. Yu Audrey Shi. Farhan Sekundar. Mark Andre Simard. Paul von Chamier Chumensky. Carolyn Wu. Hao Wu. Hayang Zhang. Chenyi Zhang. And class marshals Marla Spivak and Nikita Tanaparty. All Master in Public Administration and International Development degrees have now been awarded. Class of 2018, congratulations.
One of the great strengths of the Kennedy School is the diversity of our student body, both in terms of geographic origins, but also with respect to life experiences and professional backgrounds. I didn't even say it yet. Each year, our mid-career MPA program welcomes a wonderful group of students who have already acquired significant professional experience and who are now seeking additional training to better serve their societies. To confer the degree of Masters of Public Administration mid-career, it is my pleasure once again to introduce David King, Faculty Chair of MPA Programs, and Emma Heffron, Program Director.
Colleagues and friends, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the mid-career Master in Public Administration class of 2018. Candidates, please rise and come to the stage with your class marshals, Morgan Stevens Brown and Carolina Zambrano Barragan. For the degree Master in Public Administration, Yasmin Abdel Karim. Wael Mahmoud Abdelmonem Wafi. Asiet Abdualiv. Habib Abdulayev. Hayam Abu Al-Rasrar. Haytham Abu Shaban. Irene Alaya Adogboba. Damilia Aitkoshina. Abdullah Rashed Al-Hajeri. Mohsin Sarhan. Mahmoud Ali. Yusuf Isat Almagariev. Pablo Alonso. Fernando Jose Alvarez Cienfuegos. Claire Catalaya de Guzman Amador. Safwan Amin. Tangeni Yoswal Emmanuel Ampadi. Wee Kyung Ong. Willie James Armstrong. Jose Gustavo Arocha Perez. Harry Aurora. Miriam Tamar Ashkenazi. Apefa Ashiabor. Jessica Ostenheiler. Hai Badra. Baharia Bahadom. Famara Balde. Mariam Mohammed Omar Balfake. Daniel Lawrence Bartlett. Amit Beher. Tarek Ben Youssef. Meredith Ashley Carlos Beirat Paiva Neto. Ronald W. Blevins. Naisha Bradley Forrester. Marina Amadou Batista Braganche. Emmanuel Buquenya. Alexander Elliott Bullock. Ryan Patrick Burke. Susan Bush. Andrei Setnarski. Ronald Chan. Patrick Michael Chapman. Cindy Allison Clark. Stephen M. Conlon. Camille Cortu. Betsy McCoy Cowan. Matthew Thomas Cross. David Cullinan. Lilka Cuttery. Anthony Van Dang. Juan Rafael Delgado Veliz. Ying Jing Dong. Tim Devine. Daniel Charles Drabick. Liparit Dramayan. Joseph L. Durso. Dina Hassan El Khatib. James Ellsworth. Hazem El Wasimi. Salma El Yassir. Joel Abraham Enriquez. Matthew Fecto. Nancy Ellen Fian. Anne Margaret Ferranti. J. Lawrence Finch. Anna Ford. Catherine Gajewski. Ana Paula de Resendez Gali. Javier Humberto Gamboa. Rob Garrity. Richard Tristan Gasparini. Yovav Gavish. Alex Glade. Darius Glover. Borja Gomez Rojo. Alexandra Gonzalez. Abril Gordienko Lopez. Nicole Gore Hayes. John Patrick Griffith. Nicole Angelia Natalie Griffith. Chanel Charisse Halliburton. Nicholas Brandon Hambridge. Brandon Everett Heffinger. Pedro Helena Pontual Machado. Claire Ho. Melissa Hortman. Shamil Ibrahimov. Ekram Mohammed Ibrahim. Jessica Modena Innocent. Kenneth Raymond Inslee. James Irwin. Vaidyanathan Iyer. Jorge Jimenez Montesinos. Amelia Johnston. Brenda Davis Jones. Simon Jones. Stephen Liddell Jones. Andrash Kardar. Stephen G. Kaminsky. Sung Yung Gang. Yu Kawashima. Rasha Salah Eldin Kanawi. Mark Reed Ketchum Jr. Sumi Krishnan. John Derek Crone. Prabhat Kumar. Rajat Kumar. John LaRue. Goni Laufer Dachin. Gray Lee. Brian Charles Leffler. Julius Wei Yang Lim. Cameron Marcellus Lindsay. Chen Liu. Egriselda Araceli Lopez. Andrew McLean Lukich. Mariano Pablo Machado. Alfredo Maldonado Sansores. Baruch Bobby Marciano Gilbert. Jonathan Marshall. Faisal Ramzi Matalka. Mariana Matranga. Mary McCauley. Patrick Michael McDonald. Anmol Mehra. Naeem Merchant. Varia Marushanyan. Sherry Lynn Meyerhofer. Marco Antonio Medense Milla. David Mizrahi. C.U. Mo. Brian Monahan. Moynihan. Glenn Sugano Mpani. Chingiz Mukhan. Adam David Murray. Mohammed Musleh. Jessica Muyingo. Jennifer J. Nam. Adora Ndukwe Ugwo. Mir Nadia Naveen. Manasseh Ntaganda. Christopher Miller Nuttall. Paul Orajiaka. Luis Fernando Ortiz. Hodan Osman. Brenna Catherine Pasco. Nina Paustian. Naresh Paranpanigam. May Sabe Poo. Nils Planel. Joshua Wiley Polachek. Blake Poole. Andrew Poulin. Jeffrey Paul Prager. Gil Proactor. Charles Lloyd Prouse. Keisha Ram. Diana Rankovich. Donna Rosas. Jana L. Reed. Tirza Renata. Jordi Renart Villa. Jennifer P. Rivera. Erwin Haynes Roberts. Jessica Marie Herona Robredo. Claire Rochepust. Jeff Rousset. Frank Niakana Rusa. Martine Saenz. Eduardo Salgado. Sunita Saligram. Diogo de Santana. Mukul Saxena. John Michael Shirt. D. Cyril Senaratny. Tamar Shapira Cohen. Dina Sharif. Leora Sidi. Priya Singh. Kyle Douglas Smith. Sanaser Sodnondorj. Ashley Spillane. III. Sarah Starr. Thomas Brandon Stevens. Richard Darius Stone, Jr. Apollo Perry Story. Gabriel Given Surratt. Sayaka Takahashi. Dr. Michelle Atherin Taylor. Eduardo Tejeda. Neha Tucker. Charles F. Thompson II. Matthias Treffs. Khadijah Tribble. Rocio Tua. Judith Tukahirwa Tusime. Francisco Ulloa Picasso. Joshua Ernest. Matthias Ba. John Van den Bemden. Gunjan Veda. Wang Daiwei. Alit Whale Shafran. Jenny Williamson. Wyman Wu. Nir Yanei. Hiroyuki Yokoi. Breno Zaben. Amberine Zaman Riaz. Rowan Zain. Rebecca Zhang. And your class marshals, Morgan Stevens Brown. And Carolino Zambrano Barragan. All mid-career Master in Public Administration degrees have now been awarded. Class of 2018, congratulations.
We're nearly finished. I would like to recognize two of my closest colleagues here at the school. I've had the enormous privilege of working with both of them nearly every single day over the last 4 years in the Dean's Office of the Kennedy School on every conceivable problem and many that I never could have imagined. The first is Sarah Wald, who is Senior Policy Advisor and Chief of Staff to Dean Elmendorf. And the second is Professor Suzanne Cooper, who is Academic Dean for Teaching and Curriculum. Dean Cooper will deliver the last word, and following her remarks, the stage party will recess to the luncheon tents, where we will look forward to meeting many of you.
It is almost time to bring this ceremony to a close. But first, on behalf of the Harvard Kennedy School's faculty and staff, I want to express great appreciation to the families and friends of today's graduates. Without your support, this festivication would not be taking place. I now have the responsibility and the privilege to carry on an important tradition, namely to share with the new alumni and their guests the deepest of Harvard's secrets. Some of you have heard this before, and to some it will appear obvious, but to others I will be providing new and important information. So here goes. In keeping with a centuries-old Harvard custom, the Harvard Kennedy School admits only those students who are extraordinarily bright, engagingly personable, incredibly perseverant, and unquestionably destined to make important contributions to society. We then provide an environment in which these people can interact with and learn from one another. The faculty tries not to interfere too much in this educational process. We hope that those interventions we do make have, on balance, a positive effect. After a prescribed period of time, the school awards to each of these outstanding individuals an appropriate degree, as we have just done. From then on, we take full credit for all aspects of their continued success. The secret of Harvard is now revealed. Of course, it is in your interest as well as ours to keep this secret within our community. My colleagues and I are delighted to know that today's graduates and the relatives and friends here today will forever be members of our Harvard Kennedy School family. We thank all of you for being with us today, and we look forward to meeting you during lunch. I know that everyone here joins me in offering congratulations and best wishes to the Harvard Kennedy School class of 2018.